Hello and welcome everyone to the Boise State Esports Arena. Wow, I just completely fumbled that, but
Too much
hey, that's
talk.
the mood right now, man. We're here to catch the NACL Costream, watch some League of Legends Tier 2. Of course, Ernest and Sam to my right joining me, and ready to experience what could be a very one-sided game. I talked to you guys about this before. It's the rookie squad of Apex Mission Impossible. 3 rookies, 2 sophomores, going against a team you might be familiar with, Winthrop University.
Yeah, we beat him really quickly the last 2 times we faced him.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, we know a thing or
minutes.
two about one-sided games against Winthrop.
Yeah, we do. Crazy that they both went in our favor, as long as nobody checks our record. Yeah, Winthrop, very, very strong team. One of the top 2 in Div 1. Like, one of the a lot more experienced rosters. They kind of have the budget to bring in these strong players, like top of the ladder. I think people peaking top 10 last semester, so obviously very high ranking in solo queue, playing together for a while. They've built up a lot of synergy, and they're kind of rivaling Maryville. Those are the 2 teams that we've been looking for, collegiate-wise, that are now in NACL. It's going to be an interesting game today, I reckon. We'll see what this sort of looks like against a bit more polished opponent than ourselves. Sorry, an opponent less polished than ourselves, because we are undefeated this year.
Now, I will see this. It's a different iteration of Winthrop. So it's not necessarily the university that has this slot, but it is kind of sponsored by the university in a way. So they can change up their roster a little bit. You can see in the support role, it's not going to be only 35. It's Kim down. He used to be part of UCI. I'm not sure what university he's with now, but he did play for Team Liquid Challengers back in the day. So he'll be taking that support role.
Well, I believe only 35's playing for somebody else now, isn't he? I saw him listed with someone for one of the teams, but I'm not sure which.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think it's CCG.
Yes, so that's like still playing, just not on the roster he's familiar with from uni. Still, to have your support swapped out to another NACL roster, it's not exactly a massive upgrade or downgrade, I don't think, but seemingly they're comfortable. Going into the draft, the Rise picked first for Winthrop.
Some of the big power picks have been banned out. I mean, what we talked about last time, Karma, Oriana, Pantheon, we saw with good success yesterday.
Interesting that they've opted for Corki Nami as opposed to going along the Varus route. I know that was a very popular pick
I think Corki
for a long time, but
Nami now is a bit stronger
It's a
as a duo. Right? If you
it's
lose
a
Karma,
very
you're
strong
losing some of the power that you can give Varus. It's all about duos in the bot lane, at least in the current meta.
and slamming the Bard, looking with the Ezreal as well. So I don't know, I feel like they lose a little bit out in lane, but potentially denying a lot of the immobile champs with the Bard ult. Suddenly these picks in the mid lane that could counter the Rise looking a little bit scarier. I think Cassio is obviously a very well-known counter to Rise, but with the immobile nature of the champ, the Bard ult can pick off a lot of these counter matchups. And yeah,
I think if you're thinking
there's
about it, the idea is probably to leave the Ezreal on island. You kind of have the Bard, you can team up with the Rise, impact the top side of the map, especially as we discussed, Denethor being the kind of focal point of Winthrop University so far, dealing the most damage. So I think a strategy to play for the top side really plays in the favor of Winthrop.
Yeah, we were talking about it a little bit before you got here, Sam. But when we're looking at the damage percentages, Denethor makes up 31% of Winthrop's damage, which is a lot for a top laner. Usually you're expecting somewhere in like 24, 22% is like around the average. So a lot of the playmaking that Winthrop have really does come from Denethor.
Interest that I can get a different pack. Mine has just kicked bucket.
It has already kicked the bucket. You can go around the corner over there and grab some new batteries.
Okay, perfect. In which case, you guys wrap up.
Don't worry, Sam. We'll keep it warm for you.
I'm a bit surprised about the Trundle ban. I mean, what makes you ban Trundle when you see Rise Bard?
Oh, in there should be some batteries. You'll see a little pack in the, Yeah, I don't know about the Trundle ban.
I'm not imagining that Denethor would want to play a tank in this setup, right? So,
well, it would maybe go to Wilson, and I think he has been a bit of a Trundle player before, but I feel like that was way, way back. Looking for that right now.
I mean, the presence has been like, there's been one Trundle, so as far as the tournament's gone. So maybe obviously they know something that we don't. They scrim each other, right? So Xin Zhao coming out.
I don't know. The only reason I could see them banning the Trundle now is for them wanting to take like an Ornn or a Scion in the top lane. They have been playing a lot of tanks for Arborio, so that could be the case.
And Winthrop has gone for a pretty pick-heavy comp. Nocturne, Rise, Bard, and the Ambessa.
Jeez.
That is very big index into picking. The Neela hover, we're just gonna ignore that. There's no way Neela top lane gets locked in here.
For the most part, I mean, I believe he's been playing tanks Arborio, but instead it's gonna be Jax. So that still makes the Trundle ban a head scratch for me, but we'll go with it nonetheless.
I mean, if I'm looking at draft outcomes, I would want AMI's draft 9 out of 10 times. Obviously, nameplate's off, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like Winthrop's draft is very side heavy. Obviously, there's side collapse. You have 2 champions that have semi-globals and globals that can react to. You have an Ezreal that's kind of self-sustaining. I think a lot of the indexing here is into Denethor, which, as we said, is kind of their PowerPoint. Meanwhile, AMI's draft is a bit more well-rounded. Team fights, you have Jax as a side threat, but you have the Azir Corki kind of playing for, front-to-back team fights with Xin Zhao as your primary engaged front line. So yeah, it's a bit more side lane pick versus, team fight comp.
And you got great scaling options on AMI.
Absolutely.
Corki Azir can scale all the way to the moon. Xin Zhao has an Enchantress to work with. 3-talent strike with the Tidecaller's Blessing is something nice. It gives a little bit of move speed and will provide that slow so the Xin Zhao can be a little bit more sticky. I think the name of the game for Winthrop is just, we're going to dive you. We're going to dive you any chance we get. The moment we hit level 6, beware, the lights are going to go out and there's going to be a Nocturne in your face. So that's the only thing I could imagine is just Winthrop want to snowball super early once they get their ults online.
And I think they're very, very much looking to blow out MI by the mid game, right? Yeah. Because MI's, very hard scaling comp. If they don't make it to the late game, then this, 5v5 team comp doesn't do much. So if you get a lot of opportunities early mid game, I think Winthrop can, kind of just by sheer tempo and aggression, they can take the W here for sure.
MI versus Winthrop University. Now here's the funny thing. They've always told us in other games to call them Winthrop. Like with the U, the Thrup. But because of League of Legends and their very early memes in League of Legends, they've always been called Winthrop. And people would always say Throps out for Winthrop. it was a super early meme back in CLOL, like 2019, 2020 era.
That's phenomenal, to be fair.
Yeah.
Is Sam going to have Throps out for Winthrop?
Throps out for you.
I mean, the Throps have been down lately. They got to pick up their first win first.
Absolutely.
Who did they play previously?
I believe it was CCG.
Ooh, so losing out to only 35.
To only 35,
internal affair.
And to be fair, he's got a pretty good team. That's the team with Dardoch and Cody's son.
Oh, that's an insane team.
Yeah.
I can just imagine the Winthrop team playing from the facility, and he's just like right there in the corner.
He's just in the corner being like, easy stream snipe right there.
They put him in the closet. There's some memes to be made about the LTA promotion tournament last year, but...
Oh, yeah, that was top of mind, just as I said, and I felt like I'm not going to bring it up explicitly, but I'm glad you did.
All right, so early stages. I mean, for the most part, I expect the game to be a little bit more passive until that first Paranoia comes up. And with Nocturne, like, the first Paranoia has a lot of value and weight behind it, and usually it's kind of an indicator of how the game's going to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention Rise ulti as well, Bard ulti. And of course, Ambessa level 6. I imagine when Ambessa and Nocturne hit level 6, I feel like the top lane is dead unless they have the adequate backing on their side. So, yeah, I'd expect the game to go pretty passive until that point. Bot lane, I feel like, is the only lane that could have some volatility if they choose to trade aggressively. Because, again, name of the game, dragons... Whichever lane gets the prio for the first dragon and consequential dragons is kind of setting the pace for the game. So we're, I think, eyes on the bot lane until level 6s.
It's a scary combo. Corki, Nami.
Absolutely. Ezreal Bard is no slouch either, but I would imagine that Corki Nami have the upper hand in an isolated 2v2. Bard just doesn't provide.
Man, Bio's already getting the treatment. This is pretty brutal. He's rooted up. They're just going to die for it. They straight up flash onto him. Bio flashes the opposite way. He'll be okay, but that's still first blood that's going to be picked up by Wilson. Magical Journey through the wall for Kim down. Gets followed up by Mobility. Mobility going for the chase. That's a little bit of sushi, you know? The California way, even though he's in, Missouri? But still, we'll take it. That's 2 kills for Winthrop.
2 kills for Winthrop indeed. Bio being very, very patient with the flash there, ending up flashing upwards and away from his team and being able to just walk it out, however losing 2 of his friends in the process. It's not the greatest start in the world for AMR. I think good pathing from Wilson, knowing that he's going to be able to out-damage that Xin Zhao early.
I thought the level 3 jungle invade was a Maryville specific thing, but it seems like that just might be an NACL specific thing. This is the 3rd game in a row I've spectated. Level 3 jungle all out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Denethor taking a pretty decisive early lead in this top lane. Obviously, Jax can catch all of these minions and will eventually kind of even it out, but getting a free base off here as the ambassador's got to feel pretty nice. Like, you kind of want to punish that champ early. I mean, similar for Jax, but taking a little bit of control hopefully doesn't indicate the way that this game's going to go as it plays out. But if he continues to get these HP leads, these waves crashed in, saving, prio, etc.
Mm-hmm. I imagine the Jax doesn't foresee a lot of brawling because he's opted for a quick cheater recall into the call. Not going to give you the best fighting stats, but obviously going to help you just get a slight leg up in the goal department. So again, interesting to see how this matchup will go in the top lane.
And Wilson looking for another invade here. This one unsuccessful. We'll just go back to farming his camps, but do you reckon that the Nocturne's just going to try and live in the Xin Zhao's jungle? Typically, you'd see that champ farm up till 6 and not really want to do much until then. But it's been very proactive so far in the early game from Winthrop.
This is the bully the opposing jungler meta, apparently. I can see it working well for Winthrop just because you have a Bard, right? Bard can traverse the map so quickly with Magical Journey. So you get back up in no time.
And I feel like also when you have the gold lead that the Nocturne does and lethal tempo, you can probably brawl out the Xin Zhao 1v1 at this point.
No faster way to hit level 6 than stealing the opposing camps.
Stealing the opposing player's life.
And taking a dragon while you're at it.
Not surprised that the first dragon goes to Ezreal Bard. I would expect the Ezreal to get priority over the Corki, at least for the first 10 minutes or so. And when build paths are similar between Corki and Ezreal, at least the first 2 items. But as the game progresses, the Corki has an easier time getting prio. So it's good that Winthrop gets to capitalize on the Ezreal prio for, whilst I still have it.
Yeah. And honestly, it's always pretty scary to try and fight a dragon fight with a Bard nearby. I think it's the Cosmic Binding. Mm-hmm. You always get the chance of the double stun. Plus a lot of the mobility that he has, he gets the empowered autos if he's gotten enough meeps on top of it.
When you think about it for the Nami on the flip side, landing a bubble on a Spell Shield Nocturne Ezreal with E is just like...
Oh, we are deep in Narnia right now, and that a dive works. I mean, Wilson gets in, they get the kill. And there's no one else to catch him out as bot lane's recalling, so first pick going to be in the mid lane.
Yeah, and that's diving into the tier 2 turret. Top lane is trading ults in their respective lane. Seeming a pretty big advantage here for Denethor. Potentially looking for solo kill here, but already 15 CS up. It's not exactly the start you'd hope for as the Jax. Having the counter matchup there. He's blinded on Bessa. And is getting dangerously low. I think gonna have to recall, maybe sacrifice some of this wave without the TP. Jungler unable to come and bail him out. This is just gonna be an even this is gonna be an even harsher top lane now. An entire wave lost. XP lead. What's that? 20 CS as well.
And just kind of individual laning gaps across all of the Rift. I mean, Winthrop is already up 2.5k gold. At 7.5 minutes, which is going to be a pretty... I mean, it plays into the win con that we discussed, right? Early mid-game is where this team comp is going to thrive. So putting the pressure on on AMI is definitely going to be their win con here, and they're doing pretty well.
And you're starting to see some of that power from the Corki Nami lane, though. That little burst right there, short exchange, but it got Kim down almost down to half. So if they can keep this lane going, I mean, you have an area to at least play around. It doesn't take that much to really get a Corki going, but still takes a little bit of time nonetheless, as some time not bought for AMI. Void Grubs will go over to Winthrop. Wilson takes that on the top side. Bio's trying to put his attention over here, but this is where it's tricky, right? Because, like, it's Paranoia that's going to be up quite soon, and you got to Rise with Realm Warp, who can respond anywhere on the map at any given time.
It's going to be really hard for AMI to get any numbers advantage on any of the side lanes. And they'll just have to try to... Bio will have to try to index into the Corki lane and play for that. This is probably their best chance of scaling up.
Yeah, this is only going to get worse and worse in top lane as well. Lands the ultimate. Is this going to be a solo kill to start the game off? It is. Denethor threatening to do that for the last 5 minutes and eventually pulls it through. It's only going to get worse, I was going to say, when the Eclipse comes through, but seemingly jumping the gun and getting the work done already. It's really not what you want to see out the counter pick for for AMI. You've given this like chance over to your top lane, and 30 CS down, just been solo killed. That side lane's going to look very, very brutal, especially as the game gets on. Nocturne comes through, Bard ults come down. It's going to be quite tough if things start collapsing. Those side lane towers, I predict, are going to start falling. Not soon, but you know, you start taking tier 1, you start taking tier 2s at like 25 minutes, and suddenly the map just gets harder and harder to play as the jungler as well. As I imagine the camps will be taken down. Ambessa having that increased damage on jungle monsters and jungle camps just means that it becomes really quick. And suddenly that's just going to suck for Zinzai. You've got similar issues when you play a champion like Ambessa. Essentially anything that Riot decided magically needs to go into the jungle. That suddenly, they clear faster than you for some reason.
It's pretty nice, though, because Denethor plays incredibly well with the lead. That's one thing we've always seen in like NACL is sometimes he'll struggle in lane against different players who can match him in lane, and then it makes it harder for him to like get through. But he's always been really good on champions like Gwen and Camille, for example. There was a phase of Denethor's career where we used to call him the meta pick. He would just go through the tier list.
Well, there goes another one.
Bad, we're going for the next one. But he's developed quite well in being able to like play different counter matchups and whatnot. And when he does get a lead, he knows how to be lethal on the map with it.
Case in point, another one goes over in the top lane.
You blink and the Jax is gone.
You blink and the Jax is gone. The Eclipse comes through. The Jax.
Oh, I did blink.
The Jax is not even halfway to Trinity Force, and the Ambassador is currently sat at, I imagine, an item half as soon as this graphic clears our screen. But the Eclipse has come in. 1.5k gold lead at 10 minutes. It is pretty brutal.
And at this point, again, how do you respond to this side lane pressure, right? You have the Rise on Rip. You have the Nocturne on Rip. You even have the Bardar across the map if anything gets hairy. So Denethor is going to start snowballing, and it's a snowball that is very, very hard for AMI to stop.
Yeah, especially as they pick up more tanky stats as well. The Corki is known to do an incredible amount of damage, does do the true damage. However, if the Corki gets locked up, Public Execution going to come down.
Oh, don't blink again, please.
Don't blink again. I believe this is the first one, isn't it?
Oh, this
is the first one. Not able to see the second one just yet. Maybe we'll get another replay. But it looked like the Jax died under turret, so I wonder if it was just poked down from the Eclipse. 2 Qs worth of damage. Ooh, the
Kim
Bard
Down's got to work on his
missing.
timing for that. Yeah, but still, here we go with the dive.
And there's
Easy
one.
pick up for Zach.
Just play safe.
What do you do here? It's like shark-infested waters.
Well,
You'll still get a kill back. Hey,
Guess what? You got a smile there, Put payphone on.
Corgi just needs to play safe. That's the answer here.
Corki just needs to play safe. Clearly is not a big Maroon 5 fan.
Yeah, Kim Down, when he was on Team Liquid Challengers, the champions he was best at was Engagers and tanks, so like your Nautilus and whatnot. So it's no surprise to me that he's still working on some of these timings, because you saw the Cosmic Binding after the Tempered Fate was a little awkwardly placed. But at least there's enough potential in him that Team Liquid were willing to pick him up and try and develop him. And I still think it's going to be an interesting season to see him back and see how he adjusts to enchanters and enchantresses.
Enchanters name the game for sure. And as support champions go, I mean, I think Bard is one of the highest skill ceilings in terms of timings. You have different timings on your R, in terms of travel distance, etc. So it's not the easiest champ to pick up if you haven't played a big amount.
Yeah, it's very, very unique, you know. If you see a Bard in your game, you're just hoping it's a one trick.
Absolutely.
And if it's not a one trick, you load in, you see no mastery, you kind of cry. You go like, okay, well, we're not getting any Qs hit this game. You're going to be alone. You see your Bard in top lane when the top lane is recalling, you're crying. You see it's American Bard.
No one wants to see that.
Your face drops a little bit, you're like, no, I thought it was
And
Canada.
I swear Bard players are just like bad at anything that's not Bard though, because of the uniqueness of the champs play kid. You know, Bard Ned, shout out to you.
Shout out to you, Bardnet.
Dude, Denethor is already at the tier 2.
Is he coming back out? I
2.2k
thought
gold
Bardnet
lead.
was
That's
French.
gross.
Is it French or, French or Belgian? I think it's Bardnet.
Same thing.
Same thing. Same thing. 2 countries we don't want to visit.
I don't know, Bard might be my favorite support that I don't play, but here we go. Emperor's Divide in the mid lane, followed by the Paranoia. And just like that, they thought it was a 2v1, now it's a 2v2, and it's not going AMI's way. Crescent Guard will be used to pull off the remaining members of Winthrop, and Wilson will just stand there shaking his fist before Denethor shows up to the fray. Hot tags in. Gets a little bit of jump scare on Bio. Bio, that audacious charge was not worth it. Will be hunted down by Wilson. Denethor picks up the kill and goes on a spree.
Yeah, as the Latvians said, that threat that we were thinking going to come down in the side lane ends up just going straight into mid lane. They try and collapse, but the Bard ult from across the map, the Nocturnal, it's never really a true 1v1. And then they just get to turn it around. It's looking like a very commanding lead here for Winthrop. Over 6k, 6.5k gold at 15 minutes. This looks like a Winthrop versus BSU game right here. Except Winthrop, I don't know how Winthrop have managed to do it. They're 6.5k gold up when they play us. 6.5k gold down, of course.
I too had closed my eyes when I was playing against Winthrop.
Yeah, it was that easy. You close his eyes, he still hits the Ezreal Qs.
It's like that
If he
impending
doesn't know
doom
where they're
dog
going,
meme.
neither can they. No one
Absolutely.
check our history for this semester.
But Winthrop have executed on this comp exactly the way you'd want to, right? At no point is AMI able to group. They're getting overwhelmingly pressured on every single side lane.
Oh no, Arbria, don't do that.
Don't know.
Every time his Counter-Strike is down, I am scared for Arbrio. Because, like, that's the perfect time to just counter everything.
Hey, he's got an item now at least. Smile.
So
I'm
he
sure
doesn't have
no.
a tier 2 tower anymore, though.
No, trust me, he'll finish the call and it'll be over for Denethor.
Yeah, well, I said that tier 2 would probably go down about 20-25 minutes. I was a little bit wrong on that front. I didn't expect it to be this one-sided.
Yeah, but Winthrop have never hit a tier 2 in our game, right? So we wouldn't know
Exactly,
what their tempo looks
exactly.
like,
They're
right?
usually
Yeah.
hitting on Nexus at 15 minutes. Actually.
Obviously, you guys have perfect games every single time you face them.
Absolutely.
You know?
I mean, the games are technically perfect.
Just don't ask who's perfect.
Just don't ask who's perfect.
Just don't ask the details.
Just smile and enjoy. So a full item up in the top lane, a 3.5k gold lead. Pretty rough, pretty rough. The Ernests just going to be able to walk around the map, side lane versus anyone. Could be looking pretty rough for the Azir in a second.
No, don't do this to him.
No, he's
Poor bird,
already
man.
dead.
Retrozing running away. There's the public execution.
Chooses
the
not
damage.
not to even flash it. It was like accepted his fate. Interesting to just burn the Azir ult anyway. I imagine mentally a little bit checked out. We'd know nothing about
I
that.
know, I'm looking at his player cam right now. He's just standing there like, yeah, that happened.
The AMI player's in the dark. As you can see, Mobility's face lit up. He's got the beard trim for the camera.
Unfortunately, Retro not able to escape that one as he was a little too far pushed up, but probably just didn't know that.
All right. What do we got here? They're going after Kim down, and it's over.
You know, as
That's-
targets go,
play.
I think Kim Down is probably their best one to boost morale.
But now look at this. Like, You sent 4 players top, and now your inner is being attacked in the mid lane. You got an inner being attacked in the bot lane.
I mean, Wilson dropped the Herald. Ezreal was just free hitting mid. You have the Ambessa free hitting bot lane. And I'm not fully convinced that they'd even win that 4v3 if they turned and fought. So it's very tough for AMI.
It's been very, very clean so far for Winthrop as
absolutely.
well. They haven't really given them an opportunity to get anything back. Very respectful, just moving around the map together. Big CS leads everywhere.
10k at 18 minutes.
Yeah.
That might be the fastest to 10k I think I've seen.
Man, it looks like watching an NA team versus G2. It's crazy. And then they throw it.
After you import all our talent, of course.
Yeah. After you imported all of ours. Who's your MVP again for the last 2 years?
I don't want to talk about
What
it.
country is he from?
Yeah, I remember
we got
that
some, we
stat I
got
was
some Polish
talking
words in
about
the
with
bank if we need to use them.
Denethor being like a third of his team's damage.
Yeah, I can see it.
This explains a lot, yeah. We can see that in effect in this game. I'd bet it's more than 30% at this point.
Wilson not having as much damage as the rest of his team, but has very much been impactful in playmaking so far. Sort of been roaming around the map doing whatever he feels like. Sadly, Nocturne goes where he pleases is not the catchphrase, but it's very much been the case this game.
I feel like barring Denethor, because Denethor created his own lead, but Nocturne was definitely the one creating leads for the bot lane, for the mid lane,
Yeah.
with the invade, with the dive bot lane, with the response mid upon fight. So it's really been Wilson running the map. Obviously, Denethor has been a self-sustained top lane on an island, but he has been creating and generating all the tempo for
Yeah, all
Winthrop
started on the
here.
level 3 invade as well, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Confidence, just walk into the jungle, know that your team's coming with you.
This is going to be the easiest
Yeah.
Baron.
Bot lane just chilling. They've sort of been, going around, throw a bard ult here and there, throw an Ezreal ult out, poke the Corki Nami. This first pick combo bot lane has not really been demonstrating the power as much as it could have. I think you really look for, after the mandate, the Triforce, to just go in, burst somebody, complete one shot. When it gets executed nicely, it just looks so devastating. But they've just kept them at range, kept them at bay, been unable to do anything, unable to really get on the Ezreal.
Yeah, I think
So,
part of that
he's
is Wilson's
smiling.
presence, because... Oh, does he actually get out?
Oh,
Wow.
and he lives as well. That's got to be very demoralizing for AMI.
Because Wilson was constantly in the jungle very, very early on, and that kept pulling Protoss away from the duo lane. So it's like, what can he do from there out when you have to... Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay,
they get
follow
one back.
through.
They get one back. That's a...
Yeah, Bio fighting it out. He's in the Crescent Guard, but he's going to give his life for this nonetheless. Mobility picks up the kill. True Shot Barrage. With that, the lead keeps growing.
I mean, you collect the shutdown, so that gives Bio some respite. So that's, I think that's a trade you'd take any day of the week, right? The shutdown on Rise.
Yeah, sadly, it is on the Zinzao, though.
It's better than nothing.
Better than nothing, but you do kind of want to try and funnel these into your Corki, into your Azir. I think Jax is a little bit too far behind now to make use of it, but if you can get something on the Corki, accelerate them, can try and punish maybe a Mr. Ultimate on someone.
And it's tough now because the name of the game for AMI is slow down the game, let your champions scale up. But with the Dragon being up in 1 minute and Winthrop being on sole point, that's not an easy game plan to execute.
I don't even know what to say at this point.
I reckon,
Yeah,
no,
it's so
I reckon
brutal, bro.
I reckon they're looking. They know that the soul is coming up, and they think maybe they can trade a Baron.
And then the lights go out, and suddenly Wilson's in
suddenly
your face, and
You've traded your entire life for nothing.
Bio's getting killed. Tempered Fate goes wide, but here we go. Magical Journey means that this Cosmic Binding could find a stun. Instead, they're pulling back because Baron is on the table. Zach's going to be on the opposite end. Boz, you don't want to walk that way. Instead, Zach will follow through back over to where the Baron is, and Winthrop will be wearing purple.
And now you traded your life for No profit, no gain.
I know. So quick predictions. What's the BAM power play going to be at the end of this 3 minutes? I wanna hear a gold prediction. I'm gonna say 2.5.
3K.
3K.
You know, I'll go high. I'll go 4K.
Okay, I'll go for the Nexus gun.
No, make the serious bet. Say it's going to be negative.
It's
Minus
negative.
200.
Ooh. I'll take my 2.5, please.
Mobility's keyboard just turns off and he runs into the
Exactly.
Nexus.
They haven't seen the new tech on the Jax build. It's called 2 million packets to Winthrop University. Unfamiliar with it. Obviously, we had to hit Maryville with that earlier in the season. Get the match delayed.
Oh, is that Dragon Soul? That is Dragon Soul.
That is Dragon Soul.
But no one cares about Chemtech.
Yeah, the Fire Dragon doesn't do much. In a game where Infernal exists, you'd never want to get Chemtech.
All right, here we go. They're looking for the 2-on-1 against Denethor. Paranoia is going to come out, even the odds. Denethor flashes away, still looking to find him with the counter-strike. Stun doesn't hit, though. Look at the base. Look at what's going on to the base. They're committing this much to Denethor. He's not dead yet. He's still jumping around. He might take someone with him, but no, finally perishes. But the base is still in shambles, man.
Yeah, I think at least a massive shutdown over to the side of AMI, but it might be a little bit too little, too late as they start knocking on the Nexus towers. But they'll be chased out. Could be a lot worse for AMI. They get to farm these supers. There's nothing coming up on the map, so they get that inhib worth of gold from, what is it, like 60 per super, something like that. That's all going into the Azir.
Yeah, you know, I guess we can cope with that.
Smile. You can be pretty happy with that.
I kind of like the way Kim Down's been playing this. He'll set up the magical journey, but not instantly go through it. He's like, who can I make miserable before I jump through this?
That is just the ultimate.
He's a little tease.
Oh. Yeah, and Retrozing trying to defend this tower. Yeah, you're not gonna. It's going down.
Yeah. So this 4,000 gold prediction.
Maybe I was a little gun happy on that.
There's still time. There's still time.
If they wipe the entire team, get the base.
I was gonna say, how much do you get if they just take the Nexus? Do you just win that bet?
Yeah, you ought to win.
No, you get plus 25.
It's technically infinite.
Okay, so well, right now we're looking at plus 71 gold power play.
I forgot with this many deaths, you don't actually get that much gold anymore.
Yeah.
Arbrio versus
This
Denethor.
looks fun.
Yeah.
Maybe the Jax should try having more mobility.
The Ambessa passive is so silly, man. She never stops jumping at your face.
Well, I won, which is nice, and I was 2,000 gold off.
What was your prediction? Sorry.
2.5k.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So I think I'll take the cake there.
The cake mentioned.
The cake mentioned.
Shout out to BSU mid
The
laner.
BSU mid laner.
This has been a game of League of Legends.
This has been the most game of League of Legends I've seen in a while.
Pretty familiar stuff, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I didn't know you were allowed to do intro bots on NACL, but no, I guess they let anyone in these days, and that might be a little bit cruel because these guys are all like 4,000 LP higher than me.
They did qualify, to be fair.
Same. I just had to turn it down, you know.
But yeah, here comes the end. Nexus under attack. There's nothing you can really do about it.
Maybe
Arbrio is
they
going
take
to go
someone with
down. Oh, okay. We got these.
Do they get one?
Up,
Do
so
they get
maybe buy
one?
A little bit of time. Bio
So far, they
shuffles no one.
3 members remain. Baz firing away, gets chased back into the respawn.
They get one. Hey! 4-17, a commanding 11,500 gold lead for Winthrop, wrapping up the game. I'd say pretty one-sided.
I did warn you guys.
You did warn me. You did warn me. I
When
left
I saw-
work for this.
When I saw Wilson die, do you know the meme with the chicken? Wilson, Lo Siento.
Oh yeah, when he's like
Wilson,
yeah.
Lo Siento,
Lo
Wilson,
siento,
as he
Wilson.
drifts off,
Yeah,
and that's the only thing I could imagine with the Nocturne slowly dying at the end of the game.
They get a little win there at the end. 4 kills is More than we got.
I mean, if you're Wilson there, you're punching your table. That's just mental edge for the next game, right? Gives you a bit of a
Of
chill.
course, of
Now you
course.
got a chip on
Actually,
your
no.
shoulder.
I say 4 kills more than we got. 4 kills is not more than we got.
Absolutely not. And we weren't.
I got 4 kills.
See, exactly.
I mean, that's-
And I got killed like 4 times, so.
Yeah, I hit tab and it was like kind of brutal. I'm just there first time in Pantheon, like this is going great. Start smiling, like
Maybe it's time to try
Getting-
and qualify for the NACL. That's all I'm saying.
we may have been like space to Narnia, but
I mean, again, it's 3 rookies, 2 sophomores. The experience gap is massive.
Oh,
between
yeah.
these 2 squads.
they're scaling.
Yeah. So it's going to be a while before some of these players like actually find their stride. I know some of them, even some of the players in their sophomore year, right? Boz was one of them. Last year, he did not look that good. He was on Apex Mission Impossible, and he was one of the weaker ADs. So the hope is, like, it's still a developmental league that you grow and, as you said, scale as time goes on. But sometimes the experience gap is just too much, and there's nothing to be learned other than pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's one of those. I think if you're playing Corky, you're in the bot lane. You guys are kind of chilling. They were even for a good majority of the game, and then you hit tab and you smile. You alt tab to YouTube. You put on some tunes. Where
At that point, you just type 9x Jax, please.
yeah,
Next game, thank you.
Next game, next game, next game. He's wondering where the LP's gone. Like it's crazy.
Just let me lose in peace.
Exactly, man.
not the right team for that statement.
Lock him whatever.
Log me in whatever.
Lock him in whatever, and seemingly they locked in whatever top lane and went crazy. I wonder what will come out next. I really want to see the Dental Aurora, because last season, spammed it like well over 100 games in solo queue. I think it was the most played on his main account. I want to see it. I think it's spicy, and I imagine that would be bullying at that point.
I don't know. I
It'd
want
be
to see
fun.
his kind of classic pick that we used to have.
The
Not
Camille?
the Camille. The Camille is kind of what got him to the ballpark. He used to play on a team called Tempest,
Mm.
and that's when we saw him in like Tier 3 for the first time. His Camille made him stand out. But during his time in Tier 2, there was a brief period where we called him Deninar.
I was going to say the Nah was
Yeah.
also one that I've been told he is famed for. Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah.
Load to the next one.
Yeah, on to the next one.
We'll see. What do you think are the, if anything, because obviously they're rookies,
Yeah.
I feel like the only edge, well, not the only one, but where they have to look for is
The
draft,
only
right?
edge is
What
Infinity.
are the draft adaptations you think AMI could even take? Because on this
Their
one,
draft
like,
wasn't bad.
yeah,
though.
but you can also
Yeah,
argue,
they're pretty happy with the draft, right?
Yeah.
you can also
Execution.
argue that it's like you.
No, we can keep going.
We can keep going.
Yeah.
I feel like you can also argue that, compositionally, you can't necessarily take a sit back scale comp into the likes of Denethor and Winthrop, right?
They had the
'Cause
sit
you
back
just
and
get-
scale there, right? They
Exactly.
they had really nice scaling, and game was just wrapped up way before they could do something. So maybe if they try and take a more proactive approach, get on the front foot early,
Yeah.
show that they're the team that can get ahead and close out without making these big mistakes, that might be an approach worth looking at. Obviously, a lot harder to execute.
Or maybe do something like what Blue Otter did, because if you remember the Master E lock-in,
Yeah.
Munchie, he's a rookie. That's his first year in Tier 2. And he pulls out Master Yi, and even though they lost that game, they controlled the early game for a long time.
And I feel like at this point, you've lost one game convincingly, right? And you
Yeah.
kind of locked in the standard, let's chill 5v5 NA RAM in the mid lane,
Yeah.
25 minutes, pray we win. But I think at this point, especially if you're a roster of rookies, I feel like slam your best champ, hands check them,
Yeah.
don't let them just cruise by and lane on like matchup gap, or just pick the champs that you feel like you can hands match on, right?
Mm.
Yeah, play for yourself. Play to show why you're there. Play to show why you're in the league, and I guess just like try and make yourself stand out. If you're going for obviously, they have very good matchups. They have very nice picks. They want to show that they can perform on these things. They'll be comfortable on just about everything, I imagine, at this level. But if there's something they really have in the bag that they really want to show that they're particularly exceptional, we saw it yesterday with K, right? With the blind jacks, got counter picked with the poppy, proceeded to demolish through the top lane just off pure comfort alone. It'd be nice to see something like that come out. I don't know whether they have any pocket picks from AMI, but again, I think it'd be nice to see, right?
I know Arbrio does. Gwen and Camille are two of the picks he played a lot in qualifiers and looked really good on.
So
The question is, you're playing that into someone who is a master of those two champions, which is scary.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
There's some aspect, right? Ambessa, horrible matchup for Camille. That's out. Jax, skill matchup for Camille. That's out. Renekton's up. I mean, you can play for that, right? It's not impossible if you set it up the right way. But again, I feel like I'm just fingers crossed. I hope, they kind of have this mentality of we got nothing to lose. Let's just show them why we're here. As Sam said, lock in not their fave champs, but their best champs and just go on the rift and be like, you know what? We're not going to let them just run over us. We're going to hand check them at every corner. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, right? But if it does, then, break down the game, make it scrappy. They were hand checking you in lane, but they were also systematic in their rotations and jungle invades, etc. So you gotta throw a wrench into their game plan.
I wonder how much of that was pre-planned from Winthrop. The level 3 Nocturne, do you reckon that's something that they called before the game or in the first couple minutes, or was it more of a spur of a moment thing?
I feel like you have the Nocturne and you have the Bard and you have the confidence that you can invade and constantly have backup. So I imagine that's part of the game plan right away. It's like, how can we bully new players in the most efficient way
from the bot lane, right? On the Ezreal Bard in the first 3 levels.
Yeah,
so
you talked about it at the draft. Exactly. That you could just leave Ezreal on an island.
Exactly. You leave Ezreal on an island, you get the prio. Bard can just walk up. Rise into Azir. Rise will get prio most of the time pre-level 6 until the Azir scales up. So I think it's a game plan you can play around. And again, if there's anything we learned from the last 2 days, invade level 3 has been a pretty consistent strategy, and it's always been around the bot lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday it was very one-sided with UG. Sort of a level 1 just going contesting, knowing the limits.
I mean, you say that, but in game 1 you missed the failed invade from Maryville,
and
they actually went down to the Master Yi, right?
I see.
So even though there was an invade, they misplayed that.
I like the confidence. It's like it brings some chaos. I don't want to see the standard full clear perma. Show something new. Show some, some gumption.
Absolutely. So perhaps it's draft bot lane, a champ that will get you prio. It could be Sivir Lulu, almost guaranteed to get you prio in pretty much any matchup, right? Early levels, draft a bot lane that gets you prio. Pick a jungler that can fist fight level 3, and you execute the invade on them rather than vice versa. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of high priority picks still up. You've got things like the Pantheon was banned last game, I believe.
It was.
Pantheon, Jarvan, all these picks that have seen a lot of presence. I believe Ashe Seraphine, obviously still in the pool, not picked up that last game, and I don't think it was on the ban list.
There was an Ashe ban.
Ashe was banned?
Yeah. Ashe was banned, Karma was banned, which are, big bot lane meta picks.
I wonder, with them being able to choose whether they have first or second pick, see if that comes up, see if they can leave it open, but go for one of these.
I was surprised that they were banning Karma on the blue side. I understand the Ashe ban on the blue side, right? Because Ashe Seraphine, R1, R2, common duo, but Karma on the blue side, when it's been a staple B1 pick, if it's open,
yeah,
I was kind of surprised about that.
I think you can want one or the other. You're also happy to trade it, right? It's not too bad.
Well, absolutely, because you slam the Karma, right? You give them the Ashe Seraphine. You have all the choices. Ezreal, Varus, both will get you priority in bot lane. So let's see how they go, and or maybe their support is just not comfortable with the B1 Karma. It is plausible.
We'll see how it plays out. We've got just under a minute now until we get into the draft of the second game.
I am looking at some of the picks that Bio plays, their jungler. Throughout his career, it's mostly been kind of like these engagers. So Skarner, Sejuani are like at the very top of his list. Vi Wukong follow immediately after that. And then there's some interesting pockets. There's like a little bit of Rengar play that has shown up. A little bit of Graves play as well. I'm assuming that's like 2024 season, if anything. But
slam Rengar and make Mobility's life miserable. That might be the tech, no?
Try and tilt Mobility.
The Vi's not bad. Wukong's not bad for early aggression.
Yeah,
Level 3, pretty decent spikes.
Never really shy away from those picks. They've always been staples.
Absolutely.
Can you even just go back to Sedge? Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it. No one ever looks at it and goes, oh no, I've got a Sejuani.
Oh no, so much CC. What am I
Oh,
gonna
oh,
do?
no, not the CC champ. Oh.
So we'll see what they opt into. I feel like, winning bot lane is the recipe for success in terms of priority. That damage stuff for Denethor. In the
Yeah.
ballpark of 30%, surely again. And I didn't even bring up the MVP discussion. I think it's pretty
I think it was
clear,
quite
no?
obvious.
that it's Denethor. I mean,
Yeah.
Wilson is a close second, I think, in terms of what he did for the game state. But I think
Yeah, I think the
None of
scoreboard
you would
didn't
disagree
quite
with saying
reflect how
Denethor.
much.
It's Denethor.
Yeah, I don't think that the scoreboard quite reflected how much that Wilson did in that game.
absolutely.
I don't think it went under the radar, but obviously
was
a
fine.
very, very, very solid showing, really.
Solid showing. But considering you're the one playing the blind, and you do that to it,
Absolutely.
gross, dude.
Yeah, that's a confidence shaker, I reckon. But we'll see how it is. It's somebody who is not shy of these on-stage matches versus somebody who has potentially not had as much time in the limelight. Those nerves, they can get to you. You can get solo killed, you can go down to it's the little things, there's just a little bit more going on in your head. It's not the comfort that you're maybe used to in scrims and
even if Jax is a counter to Ambessa, it's not a hard counter, right? It's still pretty much a skill matchup all around.
I mean, it all revolves around the Counter-Strike. More than
Absolutely.
anything.
Right.
is there any counter matchups to Ambessa? Let's be real. There's Poppy.
Is Renekton good?
I think so. It's
think
maybe
Renekton
it might be
just
like
wins
6. It might be like
most lanes.
60-40, right?
Right.
Renekton, the level 3 power spike. Just get all your skills.
Oh, when you
inside
hit
of
them
your
with the
scroll.
EE. Good.
Yeah, we've all seen that solo Renekton only clip. That one went great for him. Wonder how he's doing that nowadays. I wonder if he's been to Turkey or not.
By the way, do you guys happen to know Pilscar?
No.
Nope.
It's Denethor's dad.
Mm.
He tends to show up in every single stream. I remember before we had CLOL finals, we used to have it in the Riot Arena before Riot just decided no, which kind of sad about that. But I remember I met him. He is the biggest fan of his son, man. Like, he'll always be in the Twitch chat hyping him up
Proud dad.
through like some of the worst times, some of the best times, but I don't know.
That's
I always
it.
appreciate stuff like that.
And it seems like they might go for that Karma B1 now that they're still on the blue side, but they've adjusted their bans. No ban on Ashe, obviously. Seraphine comes through, so it becomes less of a prio, but Karma banned out. Yeah.
Varus is screaming to me now as
Varus would
the
be
key
good.
pick.
Probably
Pantheon
of
left out the
course,
ban
yes.
list. It's Pantheon. I might probably. Okay, Rumble. That's going to be a scary champ to face in the top lane. And Nico. Prio on that support pick there.
I think part of it is because you could play, Varus Nico on blue side. You could play Yunara Nico as well. Nico's a pretty good blind support to take away, especially from the aspect of wanting to get prio. She gets you prio.
I think also Varus is a mobile, relatively short range outside of the the poke build. Will let you potentially contest that prio in the lane with the Karma out, with the Seraphine out.
Oh,
I think, okay, interesting. Yorick into the Rumble. That's got to be a pocket pick there. That's some confidence being shown by Arbio.
And I feel like a Sivir slots in pretty well, both in the matchup against the Nico and as a pairing to Pantheon Yorick. But we'll see.
You reckon? I feel like the two-part Nico, does that not kind of mess up the spell shield?
It's fine. You shouldn't be in that situation, right? For the most part.
what do you think for the mid here for AMI? I'm kind of looking at Ari. I think it wouldn't be a bad take-up to...
Wouldn't be bad.
I'd like Ari.
Yeah, it kind of gets you away from the equalizer if it gets placed down. You can move around the map and try and impact other lanes.
I think something mobile is going to be important.
Yeah. Yeah, it synergizes really well with the Pantheon on top of it.
Yeah, I think if you're playing in a mobile mid here, it's going to be brutal into the Equalizer and the Pop Blossom. And if they add the Wukong on top of it, that is one hefty team fight coming out from Winthrop already.
And now
Yeah.
Winthrop's going for the, 5v5.
Yeah,
We drop our Rs, you're
Yeah,
just dead.
they've traded, almost traded places here. You've got the insane 5v5, looks like it's going to come out for Winthrop, and then AMI obviously going to be trying to play around the side lane from the Yorick. Not known to be a team fight prevalent champ. Pantheon out on the side. Try and maybe put that Rumble behind. And we see the Talia ban come out. And Caitlyn from the side of AMI. Maybe trying to mitigate the range.
And it's not often that you drop your bot laners to pick 4 or 5 So I wonder what both teams are thinking of here. There's a Varus would slot in very well for Winthrop.
Yeah.
I agree.
With the Nico, with their team fight setup.
I think the Siege is
And they ban
kind of
Varus
lacking.
themselves, which is interesting take.
Well, I think they have some other options. They're kind of lacking Siege right now, and there are other options that would fit the bill for a nice team fight comp.
I'm also
Galio
thinking if you're
taken
going
out.
hard with the 5v5 and you want to just all press R, like Siver's still a way to go.
And I think
So
Yunara's
still
open
great.
as well. Winthrop could opt into the Yunara.
Yep, that champ's fair.
Yunara Nico is not a bad combo to play out. So we'll see who they go for. And Siver into
Yunara?
The Yunara.
yeah, absolutely Yunara. So now I wonder what AMI picks up here.
Is it the Aphelios, perhaps?
Aphelios, the Yunara.
Seem it looks
really
really
don't
hard
like
to play
Aphelios.
Aphelios
It's so
into
hard
that
to
team
play,
comp.
right. Rumble
But
drops.
what isn't hard to play into that team comp? There we go. There's the Aurora coming out in the
Mid
mid lane.
I think it just does it just have to be Siver. Siver can fist fight the Yunara and still compete for pressure. Level 1 to 3. So you could take the Siver, push and get that level 3 invade off the Pantheon, right? That's a winning formula, I think, in a way. But without Enchantress, Siver doesn't have the same oomph, if you may.
Yeah. Lacking the peel all has to be done
I know, it's tough because they're
independently.
pretty short range as Siver as well. And there's this kind of saying that we have about Siver. It's like, Siver is good unless you don't get to auto attack.
Absolutely.
Like, your range is so short if they just bully you. Okay,
Ziggs,
okay.
yes. I was
don't like-
considering mages, yes.
I don't
mage
hate this at
adaptation
all.
is good. Ziggs Leona is a good combo and fits the pill pretty well because they have enough AD damage. I mean, you know as much as the next guy that I'm a big Ziggs
He's a
enthusiast.
big Ziggs
So-
enthusiast.
A
Every
connoisseur.
single game this
Every
season.
single game. Ziggs merchant.
And now what do we wrap up? Leaving the counter pick to the mid laner here.
Is it perhaps a Mel angle here?
TF.
Fate.
Twisted Fate coming out.
Twisted Fate to match the Pantheon is not a bad idea at all.
I kind of like it.
Wow.
Or you're just like going to those sidelines trying to make plays. It will help pick out the Ziggs. You know, you can't satchel away from that gold card. Unsure how. I imagine the Aurora's pretty content with this matchup in the mid lane. Again, can't W out of the gold card. You can watch where that traces and land your Q anyway. But confidence coming out from Zach. I know we said we wanted a little bit of the pocket picks. We see the Yorick. We see the Twisted Fate. This is teeing up to be a pretty nice game.
I mean, I'm a big
excited.
fan of both teams' team
Yeah.
comps, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think the kind of thing that you'll find with Yunara is obviously she has ulti pop, but again, Leona has immobile targets. She has Twisted Fade, she has Yunara, she also has Nico and Rumble in a way. If I'm familiar with current mage builds, there's a decent chance that both the Rumble and the Twisted Fate go for Proto Belt, especially now that there's
right.
a Leona on the map. But as we know, Leona clicks R, Ziggs R follow-up. It's kind of a one-shot setup from the bot lane. The Ziggs, if anything lines up a champion for him, he just kind of gets them on pop, and you have Pantheon on the side lane.
Yeah.
So it's interesting comps for both teams. I like what AMI have cooked up.
You can also say the engage coming out from Winthrop, it's quite conditional. You know, you're relying on the Wukong just running forwards.
Yeah.
And Nico finding a big pop blossom. So the TF gold card, if they go for the rapid fire cannon build, a bit more like old school. You know, you get like a rower into rapid fire. That gives you the gold card long engage, which can get followed up on really nicely, and that's something that the Ziggs, the Aurora, kind of everyone on the side of AMI has to be really afraid of, because a gold card into a Nico's what's it, barbed something or other, the
Tangle
E,
Barb.
Tangle Barb. You know, it's gonna hurt.
It's kind of in a way, this is actually one of the comps we like to play, where ultimately in the mid to late game, you have the Ziggs mid lane, solo pressuring and pushing waves, right? You have the Yorick on the side lane. You have the Aurora potentially on the side lane. You have a Pantheon that can be in either side lane. You have a Ziggs that can draw bomb across the map. So very strong 1-4, 1-3-1 comp on their side as well. And I feel like that's why the TF comes out, right? The TF helps
the TF
alleviate
is
some
the
of that
big
pressure,
answer,
right?
yeah.
You can answer those sides, and you can respond to the Pantheon. You can respond to the Ziggs bomb. So I think it's a very smart adaptation.
Yeah, I'm curious how well Arborio can pilot the Yorick at the end of the day, though, because, like, I feel like a lot of Yorick play all just hinges on, can you keep the maiden alive? Like, the moment the maiden goes down, a lot of your usefulness just instantly falls apart.
The maiden micro is where it's at for Yorick players, 100%.
And that is not one of the best AI that League of Legends has produced. It's a little bit hard to control.
Not well.
Obviously, you're lacking the ability to manually move it. The recast just releases it down the lane. But again, if you go to the late game fights, you just release Yorick in a side lane, or you drop the maiden. Suddenly, someone has to answer it.
And we do
It
have
will
to be-
consistently push with the ghouls.
Yeah, we do have to be on the lookout. I don't expect, because the Pantheon. Sorry, I was looking whether there's a kill in the bot lane. But because the Pantheon path up top, the Wukong doesn't kind of have a split map situation, because the Ziggs will not get prio into the Yunara for a while until he hits Magic Book. It's kind of the Yunara and Nico will have lane prior and domination until the Ziggs gets a book, and it kind of unleashes Leona on the map, right? The Ziggs can just stay solo in the lane, and it's completely fine. So they'll have that extra member roaming around, but not expecting a level 3 dive in this from the jungle, or jungle invade in this game, which is good news for the Ziggs, because that's a very simple way to shut down the champion. Early dives.
And we're kind of having a conversation about this. Invading with jungler is always going to be the angle. Even right now, it's just to gather the vision and try and like scout out where he's going to be. If you have at least sight on the Raptors, you can start guessing as to like, okay, where's this jungler going? In this case, it's going to be topside. Denethor are going to get some attention over here. So now we're going to see how this composition can do.
Great flash.
Oh, there's a first blood in the bottom lane. All the meanwhile as well.
And a trade back.
Yeah, trade immediately back. And I don't know, I'm not the biggest in favor of that trade. Mostly because like when your ADC goes down in the exchange, it sucks to lose out the minions, and it kind of outweighs the benefit of the first blood itself.
And not to mention, Ziggs has TP. He just TPs back to lane, shoves the wave.
Oh, yeah.
So Yunara actually loses out on that one.
However, the kill
take it
did go over to Leona.
That's true.
that is
And the
unfortunate.
Ziggs is also down 12 CS.
As expected. Levels 1 to 6, you'd kind of expect that pre-Magic Book.
I feel the pressure right there. It's like, don't flamethrower, don't flamethrower. Just auto the damn cage.
You take a bad recall timer and force your TP, and I get to continue pushing you in, or you're just gonna have to wait for me to get my TP off instead.
But I mean, hey, it's a better look from AMI.
Absolutely.
It is, yeah.
And they're kind of playing into what we wanted them to do, right? They took more of a lane-oriented, let's
Yeah,
fight it
they're
out,
looking proactive.
right?
They got a kill in the bot lane. Admittedly, not on the champion that you'd want it to go on. But it's something. It's a start.
You know, unlocks the Leona on that 300 gold socks, power spike, run
Socks,
around the
power
map.
spike,
So, you know, there's something.
socks, and a ruby crystal.
Arbio is keeping up in CS. Denethor has his flash down. And level 6 will be coming soon, so there's potential to attack that top lane again.
Yeah, and the mid goal gap is mostly off the passive of Twisted Fate. So, you know, so far so good for him. Much better look than last game.
Like we talked about, Bio has the floor when it comes to making proactive ganks before level 6. Afterwards,
And Ziggs has had Magic Book. So, as we see here, Leona is unleashed on the map because the Ziggs at this point can just perma-clear waves and have pretty much no worry in the world in terms of getting dove unless there's a hard shove, right? So, we'll see what the Leona does. Gives her a lot of agency to play around the Yorick, play around the Aurora mid lane, and also, as we see here, help the Pantheon get some establishment pressure in the jungle.
This is a tricky one right here. I mean, okay, it's not the worst for Zac because he can just take a recall Destiny Gate back into the fight if one does break out. So you got to be careful if you're Bio. It's still unleashing that Leona, like you said, between worlds does get popped, and Wilson goes down. They're chasing on to Zac, who Destiny did into the wrong fight at the wrong time. Mobility's still trying to get some pocket damage in to dissuade AMI from going any further. And it's another pick for AMI. They have a kill lead.
And that's an added bonus. The TF
Oh,
ultimate off the
multi
cards.
Oh
Ziggs.
my
Yeah,
word.
another one is our mobility unable to keep going there. Surprised the Aurora didn't take a more aggressive option. Not the Aurora, sorry. That the Yunara didn't take a more aggressive option, continuing that fight towards the Pantheon and the Leona. Had the flash available. opting maybe a little safer, hoping not to get CC'd up and one shot.
It's not a simple fight because if you get CC'd, that guarantees the Ziggs bombs, right? And despite the gold gap in the bot lane, 200, Ziggs has the magic book unlocked, and Yunara just has boots, right? So it is actually, if you're thinking of power budget, bot v bot, you'd rather have the Ziggs at this point as well.
We will see. Overall, a very even game so far, and kind of anyone's hands, despite the kill advantage being 3-1 in favor of AMI. The gold lead only a couple hundred gold. It's kind of negligible at this point. It could be anyone's game. The first Drake's up. We're waiting for grubs, and it's been not passive, but the kills have very much been golden pocket. There's not been any key things taken, any objectives. Now the TF in trouble.
This is not good.
Landed on the Zenith Blade lands. Do they have the damage? They don't. Just chunking out the TF with no way back to the mid lane. No ultimate, no teleport. That could just be Drake going over to them if after Pantheon's cleared down.
And this is surely the power of Ziggs bot, right? Unleashing your Leona to just
Yeah.
walk around the map,
Oh, they
double
go
gank the mid
again.
lane, right? The Leona has nowhere to be. The Ziggs does not need the Leona in the bot lane. So
No babysitting.
And a trading flash. The Leona for the Twisted Fate. I know you're quite happy with that one from the side of AMI. Really just securing the fact that they can play. This top dive going well.
And here's where things get miserable for Denethor. His flash is not even available anymore, and he's going the wrong direction, so it wouldn't help him anyway. So this is going to be a successful dive from AMI.
And I imagine
RBO
that
gets
means
the kill.
I imagine that means the grubs are going down as well.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big problem, because if you get grubs for AMI on such a side lane heavy comp that has a Yorick, your towers are in danger, man.
absolutely.
Ziggs
The
as well,
Yorick,
right?
Ziggs satchel as well and everything, right? So they have a good siege.
And
Oh
that is just that's just one shot from the Nico.
All right, Wilson's still going in. Finds an angle, knows that the ultimates are down, but he's still got to be careful. It's considerably squishy. Will still get that damage in to take one kill back.
And that's a good trade there from Winthrop coming out. They've made a play topside. They've taken the grubs and even killed the Nico, and then just trusting in the Wukong Yunara damage to get through, and they end up picking up another kill and the Drake as well. And this season, I feel like people do prioritize the Drake a little bit more than grubs, just because the crystalline overgrowth on towers does make it better to siege. Nothing to shy away from. It's obviously very nice to have that objective, but dragon stacking, as you saw last game, they ended up with Soul. It just creates so much pressure. You get to 3 Drakes, you get to Soul Point, and suddenly it's kind of scary.
Ooh, Denethor might have bitten off more than he can chew.
Ooh,
He's getting
burning
chased
the
down
flash.
by the
Is he
ghouls,
gonna
and the Maiden
live?
had to burn his flash.
And this wave is looking horrific right now.
Oh, man.
However, the Yorick opting to push it and try and punish it. Will they interrupt the recall? No. Denethor baiting. Wilson not going in for the damage, just going to opt to kill the Maiden here. Unless
Yorick just wins it.
Arbor just feeling confident.
That's the hope. You're
That's
not
what we
even
wanted
going
to
for
see, right?
RBO,
We
you
wanted to
just
see
wanna
this
get the Maiden
confidence, just go
pressure
back
on.
forward. Ooh,
Oh
are they
my
looking
God.
for it? They could be
No.
looking for a dive here. The Pantheon has the flash available.
Yeah, Denethor's going down.
There
Dark
goes the
Procession
flash,
chains him up.
and that is a cleanly executed dive by AMI. Oh, looking for more as well.
Wilson.
Wilson, no. Lo siento, Wilson. Lo siento.
I mean, I'm very happy with how AMI are playing this game. They've really opted into we're going to take the side lane, we're going to pressure it, and we're going to be the ones making plays. They have the man up.
Yeah, I was going to say a complete inverse from the last game as well. 1.3k in the favor of AMI's top laner here. Denethor not having a stronger performance on this rumble. Obviously, a very, very strong pick. Nice to the Yorick coming out as the counter. Counter pick not so effective in the last one. So, what are we thinking here, guys? It's a sizable gold lead. It's 1.8k. Nothing to be shied away from. It's kind of the gold's on who you want it to be on. It's on that Yorick in the side lane to help push out later. I imagine it was going to be a little bit of a volatile situation where whichever top laner got ahead. So we'll carry away with it, and Yorick's certainly one that you didn't want to see
I still want to see a little bit more from AMI in these earlier stages before we get to the 5v5. You really got to build that gold lead because the 5v5 in Winthrop is still pretty deadly.
You want to get the momentum on your side because
Yeah.
it is harder to execute AMI's comp the longer the game goes in terms of just how they need to play out the game, right? And Winthrop's is a bit more straightforward. There's a bit more unit around side lane, keeping up Timpa advantages, and Winthrop's will just be, objectives here, we run in as 5, we get the objective.
Yeah.
And especially with the early dragon, it's still anyone's game to take here.
And their coach, Pacus, I really got to commend him for this draft, man. This is step 1 was getting that Pantheon. I think that was a mistake for Winthrop to leave that up. But to round out the entire draft with the Ziggs was just big brain.
Genius.
Yeah, it seems like trading the Pantheon power pick for the Rumble is nice, but I feel like they could have had a little bit more. Oh, and here we are. Here we see the Twisted Fate coming out.
Oh, man.
Oh, and
Pantheon
traded
to
with the
respond.
Pantheon in response. So it's now just 2v2, kind of nullifying the effect of that.
Yeah, and
And the
Wilson-
Leona's here.
And the Pantheon having so much more damage than
That's a good
TF.
equalizer. Yeah, Denethor still gets some damage back, but it's not enough to take down Arbrio.
Yeah,
And it's kind of the situation that we're seeing on game number 1, where you can just even the odds thanks to that man drop, and it's only getting worse right now. Zenith Blade finds its mark onto Denethor. Pop Blossom's going to go out, lands onto 3, still jumping back in. Wilson to shut down is found, but it's on to the support, which definitely hurts because your team is getting dismantled. A double kill to the Aurora.
and the Pantheon lives by the skin of his teeth. Again, that's a very, very close margins play. I like the confidence coming out from AMI because that was they committed to that. They were decided we're going forwards, and that could have been bad, and ended up being pretty good. So that's the goal lead extended now up to what 3.3k. I want to say 3.1k. So it's pretty nice.
And
Like
2K
can they
in
hold
the
on to
Yorik's
it?
pocket over Rumble?
I know
That's
it's a big conversion,
flip
big
game.
change up from last game.
absolute flip game, yeah.
Question is, we saw Winthrop be very, very clean and clinical last game, closing it out. Do we think that AMI and these rookies, are they going to have the same success? Are they going to be able to keep a hold on this game, like keep a firm grip? Or do you reckon they're going to maybe overforce on some of these plays, maybe mismanage their tempo and give away Drakes? We're hoping that's not the case. We're hoping to get to a game 3. I don't know, baby Silver Scrapes, I guess.
Yeah,
But-
this is something Kelsey's talked a lot, Coach K.
Mm.
Is a lot of one of the most difficult things to teach a team is how to take your lead and actually close the game with it. Like, sure, you can get a 10k lead and look great, but what happens if they just turtle and keep farming?
Yeah, thankfully
Yeah.
she's not had that problem with us this season.
Not at all. Not on this comp.
Not at all.
And some of it is, as I said, this is a good comp to get leads on, exactly. But it is not easy to execute later game.
Yeah,
At least they got one dragon, right? Even if it, I feel like they either need to play for turrets on the side or they need to pressure in a way where tempo gives them objectives. Because, equal gold state or even later game when they're, down up 3-4k gold might just not be enough into their team comp, just champ for champ.
Yeah, it's one of those playing into that team fight win con versus the harder to execute side lane game.
Yeah.
So far, it's going great. We've all seen games where the Wukong finds the ADC, in this case, the APC with the Ziggs, but they walk in, they're just a little bit out of position. Ziggs gets gold carded, the Aurora gets gold carded, the Wukong ult comes out to follow up, and suddenly the objective gets conceded, or suddenly it's 3 kills in the favor of Winthrop, and that's where we really going to see. We're going to test their metal, should we say?
yeah.
But another objective going down. It's just being conceded here by Winthrop there. Happy to handshake scale, go later. There's nothing particularly scary going over right now. They have nice siege either way. The Ziggs obviously one of the best champs to siege on in the game. Right?
Absolutely one of the
The
best.
passive
champs to
coming
siege
out,
on.
the passive doing bonus damage to towers, the W being able to, it's below
And
20%, 25%, something like that?
On 20%, yeah. The
On
satchel.
20%.
So
One plate.
And you have the grubs as well.
Mm.
So the Zig, and as I said, now we see the side lane setup, right? The Ziggs is just going to be on an island mid lane, constantly clearing, constantly pressuring the mid lane, and that frees up a lot of pressure from your side lanes because there always needs to be a response. And you either need to have your Yunara hitting the wave, or you need more people responding into the Ziggs, which can just keep sieging, opening the map for the jungler to just kind of walk around and go wherever he pleases.
That second item completed for Baz. And I believe that's a Horizon Focus.
Yeah, Horizon Focus.
Yeah, so that's a lot of cooldown reductions he has between the... Oh, what's it called? What's the other burning one?
Leandries?
No, the one...
Blackfire Torch?
Blackfire Torch, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, so you get a lot of CDR from the Blackfire Torch and the Horizon Focus, so this is where things are like, man, how well can you dance?
Absolutely.
Fancy feet.
Fancy feet. I mean, Yunara is not the worst of that, right? The built-in movement speed into E. That's also part of the reason I know Mobility went Berserker Greaves early just to kind of dodge those Zig bombs. So we're just going to have to see.
Denethor just ulting the wave here so to try and evade the dive. They're still going for it anyway.
Oh, yeah, they're still jumping in. Pop Blossom's huge here there.
Pop Blossom.
You got to be careful if you're AMI. Protoss is going to be the first one to fall to trade 1-for-1.
No, that's 1-4. You're pretty happy with that, right?
It's your support, yeah. And here we go, the dive in the mid lane, however. Zach going to hold tower aggro. It's another kill. Okay, now we're starting to see Winthrop play the map a little bit more, but it's not going to come without a cost as Bio's hopping right onto Zach. Even if Zach gets over this wall, look what's awaiting him. It's Retrozing. Cyclone goes out. Wilson's in too deep. Gets taken out. Zach will find his escape, but yeah, these trades that Winthrop are going for, they're trying to play the map, but this gold lead is making it hard, and it allows for counterplay for Apex Mission Impossible.
And here we see one of those where it's like just a little bit of overstepping, maybe overforcing just a pinch. Leaving that Ziggs alone has been traded off. When you show 4 people bot, they are going to try, or was it 4 or 3 people bot? They're going to look, say, okay, no one else is on the map here. This Ziggs is vulnerable.
Yeah.
And really punishing that play. Zach able to walk out, of course. Looking at the build, I can't think of what builds out of that Lichbane, I believe. Is that Lichbane?
Which one are you looking at?
The TF build. Is that Lichbane?
I'm not sure either. Is it Cosmic Drive, perchance?
It's not.
No.
No.
I feel like if it was Lichbane, you'd be going for the Sheen a little bit earlier, but...
I don't know, Sheen's kind of meh.
Oh, yeah.
Sheen on AP champs is like...
I forgot, it's kind of fallen off.
Ooh, I love 50.
Oh, you're right.
Spellblade
It is
damage.
Lichbane, it just got completed.
Yep. Wow.
Man,
No, it's got that.
Imagine it's rapid fire cannon now. Third item. For gold card maxing.
I mean, item-wise, it's very even. 2 items on the Ziggs, 2 items on the Inara, 2 items on mid lane for both sides. Jungle is sort of showing the item advantage for the Pantheon over the Wukong. And then supports, it makes no difference.
On top of it, York hasn't finished his second item. He's kind of just yard sale building for now. He wanted to opt into the Hex Drinker, so which helps him in the immediate fight against Rumble, but not as hard as a spike as you'd want on this 2.5k diff.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the Yorick's gonna be building into, because probably has a little bit of golden pocket. But when those items get completed, it's gonna hit very, very hard in the side lanes. And power of the Ziggs ult saves the tower.
You know, like if it's not a Pantheon jumping and stopping your ganks, it's a Ziggs taking away your minion wave.
Yeah, the global bomb does a lot. Ziggs has global presence quite in a different way. Not in a TF Pantheon spawn into lane, but to drop a nuke across the map, that just generates a lot of pressure as well.
I'm looking at Denethor's build. He's been able to finish off his Leandries, which that's already a good step. You know, does add a lot to, especially the equalizer power. Should be going for Rocket Belt next on the build. And I think at this point you really need it because whatever is going to be the most cost efficient to get you back in this fight, man.
No, Rocket Belt is great on.
It's
Rumble
really
in terms
good
of closing the gap. He doesn't have dash. He doesn't have gap, especially into, like, as we said, Leona, it is critical to dodge. The ultimate
Yeah.
critical dodge, the engage. Because you are squishy, especially with tabs. The Ziggs will just nuke you.
And seeing the Twisted Fate going towards that rapid fire cannon third, as I call it, just extended range on the gold card. So scary for the Ziggs. So scary for the Aurora. Flash gold card, ghost gold card, something like that comes out. Makes things a lot trickier to play. And it's one of those almost like comfort items. You see it on some champs, you know, like the Jhin, the Twisted Fate. I think Caitlyn's occasionally build it.
Okay.
That's the Aurora. Yeah, that's the
Yunara ulti.
full start Yunara ulti. You're very happy with that trade. The cooldown a lot better.
Here we go.
Denethor fighting Arbor in the top lane.
Ooh, Arbio does so much damage, but Cyclone is there to protect him. Double Cyclone. Wilson will take out that side lane pressure and give Denethor some breathing room.
As we talked about, there's slight overextensions. Your team showed in mid lane. Your team used the Leona role. You've showed your jungler. You've showed your support. It gives you the confidence to be like, okay, well, he's alone. Let's make a play. There's no threat, and that's almost twice now that we've seen AMI go towards these member-heavy players, and Winthrop identify that somebody's alone. For example, the Ziggs, and now the Yorick, and that lead, it's trickling down. You know,
It's about 1K.
700 less. It was 2.5. Now it's 1.7.
Yeah.
And this is where the ease of execution becomes significantly harder for AMI. We've reached that midpoint stage where it has to be clean side laning. That's what gets them, progresses them in the game and gets them closer to the end. And one of the pitfalls that comes with a Ziggs bot lane, which will be very crucial in the scenario for Winthrop, is you have a free lane for Ziggs, but you also give the free lane for the opposing bot laner, right? And when you have a hyperscaler such as Yunara's happy with a free lane. You know, we see a bit of a gold lead there. So Winthrop's still in a good position. As I said, onus on AMI to execute their side lane comp. Significantly harder than Winthrop's 5v5 and team fighting comp.
You're also trading the Baron damage from an ADC.
For sure.
I mean, obviously the Yorick kind of is able to suck that up and deal insane amounts with Maiden. But yeah, it's one of those, you're ahead. But that gold lead was a little bit bigger 10 minutes ago. So it's, again, this, my God, we don't want to see them throw it. Come on, guys, give us silver scrapes. Give us baby silver scrapes.
We've all become AMI fans.
We've all become AMI fans. We want to watch another game.
For AMI strategy, right now, it's almost exclusively side lane.
It is.
If you lose Arbrio, that's your entire lead gone. He has almost 2K on Denethor. But look at the mid lane. Look at the bottom lane. They have leads of their own, about 500 apiece each. So Winthrop are far from out of this, and you're seeing why they're just slowly been catching up.
You can just see that Twisted Fate passive.
Oh,
Getting
man.
so much.
Oh, this is where it gets a little bit wild. Teleports are coming from all over the place. Ultimate's
Okay.
being used.
Much ado about nothing there, seemingly. As far as I can see, essentially nothing burnt except 2 teleports.
The whole squad and Pantheon ulti.
And Pantheon ulti.
The whole squad pulled up just to do nothing.
Avengers assemble, there's no threat.
But they will get their dragon as a result of that. So they're stacking dragons. I mean, Winthrop will have to respond to the 4th one eventually.
I'm curious, how much, if you guys know, how much magic damage is in Yunara's kit?
I think 15% on crit.
15%.
Plus, yeah.
Your W is magic damage as well, right?
But that's like really insignificant.
Yeah, it's kind of insignificant.
But it's mostly
little
from the
bit.
autos. I think it's 15% from crit striking.
No, because Bloodletter's Curse was Denethor's second item, foregoing the Rocket Belt. So going for a lot of strat there. But Baron's been started up by Winthrop, and there's no man drop. So you can't get in this with the jungler. Pop Blossom comes in, and there it is, the Great Equalizer onto Boz. Boz runs critically low. The Ziggs is dead. And Winthrop are just running Apex Mission Impossible down. Protoss has nowhere to go. He's getting chased by Mobility. He's just a poor little support, man. This Leona doesn't have backup this time, so Mobility will just be able to chase him down and get the kill. And now the gold lead belongs to Winthrop.
That's exactly what Sam said. It's the Yunara enables you to just burn objectives in a way that AMI is incapable of, and Rumble as well. Rumble's really good on objectives, right? The percent HP damage on his passive just shreds through objectives. So they've really just capitalized on objective taking here.
And yeah, it's that team fight comp. You know, you can just all group around a Baron and say, we're starting this. You guys have to come into us. The onus is on AMI to not allow them to do that, to dance around it, to be so far ahead that this isn't possible. If the Yorik's super far pushed up and has all of the resources, that's your entire carry. They watched the Yorick burn TP earlier. Suddenly, they show on bot lane, they're unable to take a tower in response, and it's just a clean execute clear by Winthrop. That's one that I'm sure not the coaches will be kicking them about, but it's going to be brought up in the post game for sure. That there's just been these little overextensions where maybe they're not quite thinking of what can happen as a counter to the play.
Yeah.
And also
which will come with experience, of course.
Yeah, and they know every single global's been blown, right?
Yeah.
The 2 TPs, the Pantheon ulti, and
they got nothing too.
They have nothing, and they have no side pressure at that point. So even if they are taking Baron, even if they don't get it for some reason, there's no pressure. They're sacrificing nothing because the waves are not pushed up into them. So you goad the the comp that is built around side laning into coming into you 5v5 team comp, losing nothing on any side lane, right? That is just the situation you want to be in as Winthrop.
Yeah, and I guess great setup from them there, having the waves pushed out, identifying that this was their time to make a move. And they're jumping on Denethor again. Oh, I stand corrected. They're jumping on the Nico. Nico going into going golden here. Denethor also going golden. Lots of golden here.
Yeah, it got a lot of damage off though, so maybe there's a counterpunch that can be done by Winthrop. Going for the chase on the Retrozing, he'll be able to escape Cyclone, get some damage in. On the opposite side, Zax looking to do some work. Mobility grab and kill over the wall, flashes over the wall and grabs it. Now look how critically low AMI are. The counter attack by Winthrop will find the ace.
Did they just end the game here?
I believe
25 seconds on the Ziggs. And they have Baron buff. Baron power play of 6k gold.
Yeah, so if we balance it out, from last game's Baron power play, we were pretty spot on. Yeah, I think you at least can get some inhibs here. I don't think you can quite end. Zig's able to clear the waves really progressively.
That right there is the danger about engaging onto Denethor in a choke point. Because it means you have to stand on the equalizer while dealing damage to him in order to take him out. That makes you weak for the follow-up that came out of Winthrop.
Not to mention the Nico. Nico locks you up on that equalizer as well, even if you want to some wiggle room around that corridor.
And the Bloodletters is take down as well. You get hit by the Rumble, obviously the Rumble E, shredding magic resist.
Yeah.
Rumble E shredding magic resist again. Bloodletters shredding magic resist even more.
Equalizer,
then getting hit by
So
then
you're just
getting
taking true damage at
at
that point.
that point, you know, I don't think the Maul's doing too much. And for those champs that don't have magic resist, whew, ow.
Also, that's a 4-item Yunara at this point for mobility.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mobility can just kind of click forward, especially if they're going to commit everything on the likes of Denethor, on the likes of Kim Down. Because that one, they pumped everything into that Nico, pumped everything into that Rumble, all for them to go golden and just stall out. And then you know, Nico dies, boo-hoo. you die for the team, you smile. Your Yunara says thank you.
And it's kind of as it goes. I mean, they commit so much to the Rumble, and Rumble's not the most impactful damage dealer on that roster as well.
Ooh, and that is the Flash and the Leona ult coming out for very much nothing.
Oh my!
The
he
trade
dropped into the Pop Blossom.
Yeah, the trade there coming out from not Maryville, sorry, Winthrop. Close enough.
Yeah, PTSD. You know.
PTSD.
For us, same thing.
I know, just two teams that we beat in regular season.
Easily, of course.
Yeah, so 2 quick picks. Wilson might go down here. Maybe a consolation prize for Arbrio, but no, instead you just lose your maiden. Go maidenless. And enjoy your kingdom going to flames.
Maidenless, Sam POV.
So true. So true. I can't beat Elden Ring.
That's a nice dragon
Or
soul
beat
as
the
well.
dating allegations.
We're both maidenless, man.
Yeah, sadly you're not a
But
maiden.
not mandomless.
Sadly, yeah, we're not mandomless. I was gonna say, what's the male version of a maiden?
But yeah, that timing on the Pop Blossom, by the way, it makes it so unfortunate for the man drop. Because I don't know if you saw, he just flew in and was instantly locked by it.
A lot of the attempts from AMI to try and further extend their snowball.
Baron's up in 20. I mean, I imagine Winthrop is just going to capture, hold some space, not let AMI get in, and just take the Baron from there and look to close out the game.
Yeah, and considering we looked at a, what was it, 3k gold lead, something like that? Or 4k gold lead for AMI. Now they're staring at 9k to Winthrop.
Better than last game.
Yep.
Much better than last game.
Much better.
I respect the approach that AMI took. Obviously, the onus of execution was on them.
It's a harder comp to
Absolutely
execute
harder.
too, yeah.
Absolutely.
It was a good game plan, but now it's all kind of falling apart. Baron gets taken. Equalizer placed. Bio taking a little bit of damage from that.
That seems too bad.
Okay, so 6k from the last one? More or less.
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 Definitely
Less?
A lot of that was
Okay.
comeback gold.
Yeah.
Do we okay, I'll rephrase the question. Is the game getting ended?
Yes, I think it's getting ended on this Baron.
Within the next minute 30.
So we've got a minute 30.
Next minute 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I'm going to take not ended within the Baron power play.
From
34-20.
from Baron counter, I mean 2 minutes.
Okay, so you're going 2 minutes after Baron. You're going
34-20.
34-20.
I had to do quick maths.
I will take the over
You'll take the
on
over.
on the Latvians' prediction.
Mhm.
I'm going to say they're going to be patient.
Honestly, you might.
They might not end on this Baron. I don't think they're going to end on the Baron power play.
Okay, I will admit, I keep not factoring in the zigs,
Yeah.
and zigs does make it a little bit slower to end.
The D push is
Yeah.
prolific.
Prolific.
Okay, they're looking for the prey on the Rumble again.
Yeah, we've talked about
However,
this though.
Okay, the TF not in position to collapse with the ultimate yet.
But the Wukong's
Okay,
here.
now this
However,
is
are they
confusing.
just
And the
going to
Nico's on the
get?
flank.
Yeah, they just get collapsed on themselves.
Oh,
I'm
it's
starting
a good final attempt, but it's just that right there.
I'm
It
not
is
feeling too
the
good
last
about my
attempt.
over 4.5 minutes now.
All right, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. You got 20 seconds to close this.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Come on, Ziggs, depush that wave. Depush that wave, Ziggs.
No zigs.
No, Ziggs, no.
No bomb.
No bomb?
No bomb.
No bomb.
No bomba.
How do we say that in
No
Spanish?
bomba.
No bomba.
How do we drop that in Spanish?
No bomba.
No bomba.
And how do we say it in Latvian?
No bomba.
Is that actually how you say it? Wow, we're so creative. We're so creative.
Oh, Pop Blossom. Okay,
The
it's a
Wukong goes
shutdown
down.
picked up. We'll take
Okay.
it.
It must be a Wilson Classic to die just before the game ends.
Trademark.
Trademark.
TM.
Lo siento, trademark.
Lo siento.
Wilson.
Wilson, lo siento, Wilson.
Okay, unable to end it.
Yeah, I
Unable
actually
to
said
end it.
35,
I mean, mine's going over.
36-20.
My prediction's over already.
I said 36-20. I typoed.
Yeah.
So I win.
No, he says 36-20.
Yeah, it was a typo. My bad.
It's a typo. It's a typo.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's not on recording. You can't go back.
Well, you said two.
No, mine is over. Yeah.
I thought you said 2.5 minutes after the Baron power play.
No, mine was 2 within Baron, so 30 seconds. left on
Oh,
Baron.
I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
you were 2.5 minutes after Baron power play.
no,
So
no,
I was
no.
like, I'll take the after two. Also, 2.5 minutes now.
No.
After
no.
2.5
mine
minutes.
mine was for sure within Baron.
Oh well, mine's in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's essentially I win. That'd be 2 for 2. If the game's not over in the next 50 seconds.
I feel like
Hold.
my response is just Winthrop needs the Maryville method. They should be running laps. for this.
Huddle.
The game should have been over 2 minutes
Yeah.
ago.
True. I mean,
it's
it's
lap angle.
an 11k gold lead. They're just playing with their food ish.
Ish.
You know what we're not playing with? Food. I'm hungry.
I am hungry as well.
I'm hungry, and we have missed all of the happy hour deals on the
Oh
scran.
no.
I'm very, very sad. I could have had a lovely smoked salmon poutine. Sounds very fancy. So we may have to nip 2 doors down and grab some scran.
Well, luckily for you, this stream is brought to you by local dairy farmers and the products they produce. I don't remember.
Yes, I can't. I'm gonna go and
Big
eat
and true.
so many cheese sticks. Here
Shout out
at
to Dairies.
Boise State, we pay our athletes in cheese sticks, among other things.
Oh, the dive on the Zach. Oh my god. That's the biggest bait ever.
And again,
the Avengers assemble.
Again, they keep trying. They keep.
Oh,
forcing.
the
Zach's
Ziggs.
down.
Zach is
Okay, huge damage.
All right, what's going on in the base? What's mobility doing all the meanwhile?
Okay, are they just gonna? Okay, they're trying to
Yeah,
base.
they're trying to
Mobility's
recall
coming
because
in.
they realize what's going on.
I offer you a trade deal. A kill for your base. Seems like AMI is not
Okay,
fine with
and
that.
you know the Aurora able to stop that push there.
Yeah, between
Going to keep
worlds.
moving forward. Gets a slow.
Wait, this could go really bad. Okay, luckily Solar Flare's on cooldown, but it's coming up pretty quick. So if Protoss can chase this for the long run, maybe there's a
No,
chance.
Yunara
I
has
think
everything.
Yunara
She
has
has
the
cleanse,
move
flash,
speed,
ulti,
Yeah,
right? So
she's fast.
yeah, she's max chillaxing.
Max chillaxing. The supers in the base. Maybe take down one of the towers. Nope. Aurora has very, very good super minion
Uh-oh.
clear.
Oh,
And here goes. Oh no!
We just
Not
got
like
the play.
this. We were
Emma.
praising you. We were praising you earlier, and much like 10 minutes ago, he gets caught out on his own in the side.
I think he ends the game with a gold lead. He's still happy, right?
He's still happy. Obviously, an incredible goal lead. He's had a decent independent performance. 10 CS a minute. But
I mean,
again,
this-
just kind of caught out twice when it matters, right? Like
I
one
mean,
where
it is tough at this point in the game, right? You just got to create some pressure and
Well, I still feel like you see them retreating. You know there's a chance they go topside. You already took the tower. Like, it should
Yeah.
be a recall by then.
yeah.
Oh, he's legendary.
oh no.
Yeah, that Yunara champion's a thing.
7.5k gold, small lead.
Okay.
That looks great.
Oh, Pop
And
lost him.
here we go. I mean, it's over 36.5 minutes. I can be happy. Sadly, we don't get the baby silver scrapes. And that looks like Winthrop University are going to take down a quadra kill there for mobility. Has been, I believe, one of the best players we've played against in our league as well.
Who?
Mobility. We were praising him kind of crazily in one of our games.
I
The
know.
Latvians
I know.
looking
I know who the
confused.
best bot lane I played against is.
Me?
in
Crazy.
This season, absolutely not.
He has not
You're the
seen-
best. You're the best meow meow.
I was
going to
say I'm the best meow meow. I'm the best meow meow.
Yeah,
And
but
he's
they
not
don't. They're
talking
not
about
playing.
Randall.
They're not playing in Div 1 nor this league actually. The best bot lane I played against.
Yeah, because I don't play in it.
Well, I know mobility. I always see him as being one of the more consistent marksmen when it comes to just tier 2 in general. There was even a time where Evil Geniuses, they had a really good roster they were trying to fill. They had King as their ADC,
Yep.
but they had Visa issues with him, and they filled in mobility.
Yeah, I
They-
remember you played tier 1.
Yeah, they were winning more with mobility than they did with King. It took a while before King was actually able to like turn on, and then they started doing better. But mobility was a great filler for that, so like he's pretty solid, man.
Yeah, I remember him fondly
good,
for the
been
time that I watched him in tier 1, but invariably I think mobility MVP this game. Thoughts?
For that game, yeah, I think he
Yeah.
soaked up a lot of the pressure, did really well, enabled his support to go out on the map and be proactive.
I know. I'm trying to think pretty hard about this one because mobility is definitely up there. I feel like Zach got caught out too much to mention him. Denethor had a struggle of a game.
I'm almost tempted to say like series MVP was Wilson, but the MVP for this specific game was mobility.
What was he playing in game 1?
Wilson?
The Nocturne.
No, mobility.
Ezreal.
Ezreal.
Ezreal. Ooh, I might give series MVP to mobility then.
It could be. I do want to detract some of it because Ezreal was just like really easy to pilot into that team comp, right?
Yeah, he was
Um,
he just was a bit of a passenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He pulled out the thing that all of the solo queue players need to learn, which is your team's winning, let them carry you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he toughed it out. He kept his range against the Corki Inami. But I think I'm going to give it to Wilson.
You know, I'll,
I liked
I'll go
him.
with you on it. I think in both games he was pretty spot on.
Pretty solid. Obviously, making those objectives count. Being there when he was needed to be.
Yeah. Close runner-up would still be mobility for me.
I agree.
Because, like, I think even in games where you're left on an island, you still got to know how to play it.
No, he did his
And
part.
farm up
Yeah,
well.
did
He
good.
did his
Yeah.
part and he did it well.
He very much did good.
Absolutely, I agree.
And I believe that's that for the series as well. Like
Yeah.
that's that for the day of competition. Do you want to tell us who we've got tomorrow?
Oh, that's pretty good.
So I'm trying to
Did
wrap
you
it
have
up
player
because he's very
interview?
hungry, bro.
I'm totally not starving,
I know you're
man.
hungry, but you're watching player interview. You're not
Yeah,
allowed
exactly. We're watching player interview.
Who's we? Who's we?
now we got to figure out broadcast MVP.
Broadcast MVP.
Yeah, so they choose an MVP as well.
Oh yeah.
Match list.
Our broadcast MVP is Ray.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Ray is our
Shout out
MVP.
to Ray.
Shout out to Ray.
Okay,
Big-
I don't
big
know which
ups.
of the games we're actually covering, so I gotta pull out my schedule.
Woo!
Yay! Shout out to Ray.
Take a bow. Take a bow, Ray. Take a bow.
It was mobility from the cast for the series MVP.
Yeah, understandable.
Oh.
I don't think anyone can complain about that.
Yeah, it's not something that I'd be unhappy of. For me, Wilson slightly edged it out, specifically for game one.
Tomorrow is Supernova versus CCG. So Supernova is one of my favorite teams.
And the second game?
The first game is... Oh, man, I just got off that. First game is Conviction versus CTG. Conviction's kind of a loaded roster.
Who?
It's the Dark roster, right?
CCG is the
Is the
Dark
Dark
roster.
Dark roster. That'll be fun.
Cody's son, Dark roster.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Cody's son, a famous EU Masters player.
Conviction is Sniper, Tomio, Insanity, Meech, and Breezy.
Also,
That's pretty good as well.
they're a
Yeah,
pretty
that's also pretty
star-studded roster.
impressive. And that's the game being broadcast tomorrow.
No, we'll be casting the second one. So it's the Dardock roster, CCG,
Yeah.
versus Supernova, which is like, I said earlier, that Blue Otter is one of the scrappier teams. So is Supernova. So their roster, let me pull that up real quick. Their roster is Hoarder, Music, Shochi, Levitate, and Zyko.
What is it? Music, the European
Yeah.
player?
Yeah.
Why do you know that?
Why do you not know that?
That's such a
Yeah, for a
random
while.
shout.
Yeah, exactly. So
Hoarder was kind of the next Zamudo. And unfortunately, Energy, this is kind of messed up, but they saw that Zamudo was free, so they dropped Hoarder for Zamudo.
oh,
Yeah, so Hoarder definitely got a chip on his shoulder this one. Shochi is one of my favorite players because he is the player you live and die by, because he will carry and then in the same game and then carry again in the same game. It is wild watching him. Also, this dude had a season where he played like 25 different champions before Fearless was a thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
was he just flavor of the day? Was he Sam Watmore?
Yeah, flavor of the day from me, to be fair.
No, he was really good on mid Tristana when he used to have like ADCs in the mid lane. I forget, was that like 23, 22?
It's recent, yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So mythics were a thing, right?
Yes.
And then they had a game where they accidentally locked in Katarina, and Shochi's like, fuck it, I'll play it.
Oh, wait, we can
Lock
drop
me
bombs
in,
on this?
whatever. No, only Erick can.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
We could drop bombs on this?
No,
I've
no,
been
no,
biting my
no.
tongue.
No,
Keep biting your tongue.
I said
Keep
frick.
biting my
Keep
tongue.
I
biting
said
your tongue.
frick.
You can roll back to like 10
Can't
minutes
prove
ago,
it.
and I'm literally just there like...
Check out this interview.
Everyone's listening to the interview. They didn't hear you anyway, Erick. It's fine.
Don't worry, I'm putting $20 in swear jar.
$20 in swear jar. Damn, I didn't know my pocket was a swear jar. how about you buy us dinner?
How you make us that sauce you were talking about
Yeah, how about you
yesterday.
make...
That's
Joe
what's the
tell
plan.
I got the.
you got the
ingredients.
tomatillos?
Yeah.
Nice. He's good to teach us how to make Mexican
That's
food.
all like that. Tomorrow will be exciting, right? You'll get to upgrade from Snar Fury to the Slick Roads. So, for cast.
Oh, yeah.
No, I won't.
Yes, you will.
I'm not there.
Aren't you not?
No.
This guy just shows up sometimes, doesn't
Shows
show
up was not supposed to be on today, is on today. It was
It's
supposed to be on tomorrow.
It's not on tomorrow.
Leaving him alone.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you dipped out of that, didn't you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
What are your goals as not just a player, but maybe
He's the least
I might be
reliable.
able to come do the first one.
Hmm?
I could do the first one.
We're not doing the first one.
Yeah, but I could.
Well, you're not proud.
To raise great torment. Wahahaha.
And I think I don't know how I feel about leaving you unattended on a stream.
Leaving me unattended on a stream. What could possibly
it
go
does
wrong?
not sound like the formula for success.
That sounds like the formula for greatness. Or to crash and burn.
It's the
Boise
formula.
State-
It's the
Boise
formula
State
for getting
esports
cancelled.
removed from Twitch in 15 minutes.
Do not let the British man stream alone.
That's a good goal. Yeah, I think
If you want to know one of the most interesting things about Winthrop, mobility is the primary shot caller for that squad.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a rarity.
interesting.
To have a bot laner be the shot
ADCB,
caller is a
yeah.
rarity. Because it's not an easy role to shot call from. by all means, it's one of the most micro-intensive ones. And those are notoriously hard to shot call from.
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard, man. I play pretty micro-intensive champs as well. Like
like Yumi.
I for sure I'm not like walking to lane texting people. Or, like
I'm just saying. Our Yumi Ezreal combos, like we're probably best Yumi Ezreal combo in NA Emerald to Platinum for sure.
100%. Undeniable.
Undeniable fact.
Undeniable.
We've terrorized those elos. That's how we started off the season.
I like that we said we're going to hold out the interview and just talked immediately over the entire interview. Sick interview, guys.
I'm listening to it.
Thank you, Mobility.
Thank you, Mobility. Good job, man. Keep the beard trim up. Go glide a little bit,
He's got a good trim going.
Put some everything black on.
Twitch story. Is it time?
It's time.
After the interview.
After the interview. I'm going to kidnap Erick and take him to Chipotle.
See, this is what they're doing to me right now.
That kind of sounds like they're playing.
They're griefing me because they're hungry.
Exactly, man.
But tomorrow,
I had a roast beef and provolone sandwich for lunch with I got Chick-fil-A sauce and I put Chick-fil-A sauce on the bread. It was really nice.
W.
It was really good. Oh, and I had some coffee.
And the classic roasted potatoes, broccoli, and beef.
Our resident card game pros just walked through the studio doors.
Pseudo doors?
Studio doors.
I said pseudo doors.
Pseudo doors.
Who's the player you're most excited for, Sam?
Sleeps.
NACL?
Sleeps.
Sleeps.
Yeah, I think Sleeps is going to go real crazy. Fun fact about Sleeps. Sleeps saw the rank up screen for the first time ever.
Not from a league
weeks
game.
ago. Not from a league game to bronze TFT.
That's big.
Silver TFT. He watched 2 YouTube videos.
I haven't asked Eric. Do you still play League? Like actively?
Not really. I usually only play ARAM AM. I got too toxic.
Yeah, because I messaged him saying, does he want to play Clash? And he said no.
Yeah.
Messaged inviting you to Clash.
I tried way too hard, and I got Diamond 5 when that was still a thing. That was back with like the old rank, and they didn't have like Emerald and all that back then. And like I just reflected for a moment, and I'm like, I'm miserable.
So are we.
Yeah.
We now have a resident Diamond player on the cast as well. Somebody ranked up recently. I'm nowhere near that. We've decided it's meow meow time, and suddenly my Manchester is not going to look like a mid laner anymore.
20 games of meow meow.
20 games of meow meow locked in for the weekend.
He said he wants to face only 35 again.
We need this man in Emerald.
Need me an Emerald.
Yes.
A tough task.
Otherwise, if not by the weekend, I'm just saying, looking for a mid laner.
Yes.
All right. They're giving shout outs and they're too hungry, so let's close it out.
Sorry, yeah, we were so good at that interview.
All right, Sam, Ernest, I want to thank you guys for joining me. It's always a lot of fun being able to watch some of these games with you guys, and we're going to close it out. We'll be here same time tomorrow to catch the next game, which was Supernova versus CCG, so we'll see you then.